Electrics. I'm here with Greg. He's our pretty much alternator specialist here on this. So, like, Greg, like, how many of these you get come in? You get, like, especially this time of the year.
Probably 3 or 4 a month.
Yep, yep.
On a consistent basis.
You know, and the thing is with these alternators, they're out of 80s bikes, 80s, early 90s bikes and stuff like that. So they're already old.
Yes.
And most of them you can't even buy anymore because they're not available. You can't buy this stuff. And if you can find it on eBay or something like that, who knows what you're going to get because it's probably almost as junky as this bad one.
Exactly.
And so you know, and with the whole kind of cool thing there with all the all the 80s and early 90s sport bikes coming back as, kind of collectible items. This thing's got to work or they can't even use the bike.
They can't even use the bike, yep.
So, I mean, like doing this is pretty neat. So why don't you show us like how you're doing? I'll ask you a couple of questions as we go.
As we get started, we just take the cap off.
Yep.
And then we start to desolder the rectifier.
Yep.
As we have here. We disconnect.
Those are the 3 phases off the stator, right?
3 phases off the stator, yep.
Yep. And then that's the DC output.
Right there.
Yep.
And then we'll take these 3 screws out to get the rectifier and the regulator out.
Yep.
That frees up the regulator.
Yep.
And the brushes.
Yep. So that's where the whole thing, like, this regulates the power of the alternator rotor for the electromagnet.
Yes.
That's how this system works. You regulate the strength of the electromagnet to get as much alternating current out of the 3 phases of the stator, which that's how it, and then it goes back to the rectifier to rectify it from AC to DC power.
Yep.
And it's the power input to feed the regulator is there, as well as the power output that comes out of the unit. And basically the body is the ground of the unit.
Yep. And then we'll slide these the rectifier right off. That'll be replaced as part of the rebuild.
Yep.
And then what we'll do is we'll separate the 2 halves to get to the rotor. This guy likes that. There she is.
And there you go. There's the rotor. And almost all the time this rotor's no good, right?
Almost all the time.
Yep. It has an open most of the time.
Yes.
Yep.
And then we'll press this right out of the housing here. All right, so I just want to dive a little more depth in what goes into building a rotor. So we press the rotor in half. We end up with these 2 halves and a coil. And then we just tape the coil all up like this, as you can see. And then we add more tape to each pole for the inside so it doesn't short out. After that, we add the bearing. We'll press the bearing and the slip ring on. And we press this bushing on. And then we end up cooking it in the oven. And this is the end result.
So, Greg, now that that's one that you did before, and when we want to make sure that what we've done works correctly, right?
Correctly, yeah.
So, Sean and you guys built this alternator test rig. Why don't you show us how the whole thing works?
Yeah, so the motor turns on right here with this switch. And we're looking, here's all our loads, looking 14.7. We put them all on. 14.7, 14.9. Here's our amperage.
So you can actually put a load on this.
Yep.
So you got 11 amps running through this thing right now, and still maintaining 14.9 volts.
Yep.
So
it's about equivalent to about 2 headlights.
Yep. So we can load this thing up a little more if we want to, with everything like that, and we can do a duration on this too. Like, hey, we want to run it somebody says, hey, it didn't work, or it doesn't work, or whatever.
We'll run it for 10, 15, 20
Yeah,
minutes.
20 minutes, whatever we need to, and we'll make sure the thing does work. And then that way, if they're still having a problem, we can help them diagnose what's going on the motorcycle and guarantee them that the alternator itself is a good running unit.
It's working, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, like, you do 3 or 4 of these, maybe 5, 6 of these sometimes, right? Sometimes weeks you get that many in a week.
In a week, yep.
Yep.
Monday
So-
through Friday, I'll get anywhere from 4 to 6 different types of alternators.
Yep, and I mean, it's a great service, and I really don't think anybody else does this stuff.
Oh, I don't think
I haven't
there's too
seen
many-
anybody anyway.
Too many people that do.
Yep. So, well, Greg, thanks for showing us all this stuff.
Very well.
All right, brother. Take care.